The story begins with a girl in a beautiful dress arriving in a wonderful city. She's headed to the Royal Academy. She notices an exhausted old woman and helps her, using her abilities to make the woman feel better. The woman thanks the girl's son, but the brown-haired girl explains that she's still at level 1 and doesn't need thanks for providing free treatment. The son learns that the girl is going to the Royal Academy and rushes to the student's dormitory. When he tells her that the academy's gates close at 6 p.m., she hurries but arrives too late. The gates close exactly at 6, and she couldn't get into the student's residence. A man with glasses asks for her name in class, and she introduces herself as Alicia, a first-year student. He tells her about the strict rules and suggests that she spend the night anywhere she can and enter the next day. Alicia explains her financial constraints, and the boy realizes she's the commoner accepted that year. He informs her about a solution. There's a part of the Eastern Wall where students violate the curfew. Many enter and exit through there, but there's a slim chance that Roki, the enforcer, will be there at this hour. Alicia is overjoyed and asks for the boy's name, and the student introduces himself as Oswald Grimsard. Her father is a minister in the cabinet. Alicia is very surprised because her father is a minister, but Oswald tells her that he doesn't like pretense. Therefore, she should address him by his name without any titles. She expresses her gratitude to Oswald for guiding her to the entrance and takes her bag, leaving the place. Finally, she arrives at the eastern side of the academy and sees the boy jumping from the wall. He informs her that he will help her enter and extends his hand to help her climb. While they are on their way, the red-haired boy introduces himself as William Aris, a new first-year student. His seniors in the dormitory sent him to buy drinks for the celebration welcoming the new students who enter the dormitory. William shares that his father is a general who trained him since childhood. Alicia is surprised that everyone here comes from extremely noble families. As William turns to her, she stumbles, and despite Alicia's attempt to help, they both fall from above onto the students. She apologizes to the boy, named Edwin, whom she accidentally fell on. Edwin, with yellow hair and green eyes, introduces himself as Edwin Varschein, the second prince of the Kingdom of Varschein. Alicia is shocked because this academy enrolls only noble children. The scene shifts to the academy's director, who scolds them for causing a commotion. William is told that the drinks he brought will be confiscated, making him upset. He bows his head in disappointment. Then, the director speaks to Alicia, acknowledging her exceptional talent and her power of light. She is the only commoner to receive a scholarship here, and she must always remember it and be cautious of her actions. The director, from his council, informs them that they will be assigned additional duties for a whole week as punishment. Then he departs from the place, and the academy director speaks to himself, expressing his hope that Alicia is strong enough to save them from the great demon king. The scene shifts back to Alicia lying on her bed, feeling very sad for failing on her first day at the academy. In those moments, she hears a voice from outside shouting about an intruder. The scene transitions to the guards outside searching for the intruder in the school grounds. The guards instruct them to stay inside and close the windows completely. The scene shifts once again to Alicia, but at that moment, she hears a noise entering her room. She grabs a mop and watches the person as she strikes him on the head multiple times. However, he tells her to calm down as he is not a bad person, revealing his face. Alicia recognizes him as Edwin, the person she fell on earlier. He explains that he was trying to investigate something and got caught when trying to sneak into the school building. Now, he cannot reveal the details, but he promises to tell her later. Suddenly, they hear a noise from outside, indicating that the security is still looking for the thief but hasn't found any trace of him. Edwin looks through the window to observe them and tells Alicia that he cannot go out now or he will be caught. He asks her to let him hide in her room for a little while. Alicia is shocked by his request but agrees to let him stay in her room. In the darkness, Edwin and Alicia sit in silence. Edwin breaks the silence, apologizing to Alicia for what happened. He acknowledges that a noble like him should not invade a lady's room but had no choice. Alicia responds that it's okay, feeling like she's in a dream, never having spoken to a royal before. He said to her that he is just like her, always surrounded by royals and nobles, and this is the first time he's dealing with someone from the common folk. Then he asks her about common women, whether they are as violent as her. Alicia gets annoyed and tells him that she hit him because she thought he was a thief, which is a natural reaction when encountering an unknown person entering her room through the window. Edwin laughs and informs her that he was just joking and he doesn't want her to hit him again. Alicia and Edwin have a laugh together, and then Edwin asks her to keep their encounter a secret. She promises not to tell anyone and Edwin thanks her. He gets ready to leave, not wanting to overstay his welcome. Before he goes, he invites Alicia to the entrance ceremony the next day and wishes her a good night. Alicia reminds him to be careful and avoid any trouble. The next morning, all the new students gather for the entrance ceremony. Alicia is among them, waiting in line to meet the director. She notices both William and Edwin signaling to her. She keeps her eyes on Edwin until she accidentally bumps into a girl in front of her. The girl gets angry and asks if Alicia has a problem. Then she recognizes Alicia and asks if she's engaged. Alicia is surprised that the girl knows her name. The girl questions if Alicia is sick, and Alicia assures her that she's perfectly fine. The girl goes back to her place as the ceremony is about to begin. The director welcomes the new students with great honor. Suddenly, the scene shifts to Edwin and Alicia in a fight against Eumiella. They try to stop the fight, warning her that her luck is running out, but she doesn't listen. Eumiella gets ready to attack with her spears, and the battle intensifies. She emits a terrifying aura as she strikes with her spears. William defends against her attacks with his sword, while Edwin uses his powerful magic to counter a significant portion of her strikes. Together, they manage to hold their ground against her. Alicia also joins the battle, using her special holy light magic. Eventually, they defeat Eumiella. Prince Edwin is grateful to Alicia and gives her a hug. Suddenly, Eumiella, the defeated girl, wakes up and reveals that all of this was part of a game called A Light and Hero. It's set in a world of swords and magic, where the heroine enrolls at the Royal Academy, builds relationships, and grows stronger throughout her journey. She eventually defeats the Demon King, but a hidden boss, the powerful adversary Eumiella Dolkness, emerges after what seemed to be the end of the game. Eumiella tells her own story. At the age of 15, she's heading to the Royal Academy in the capital. She can't remember her past life, but she knows she was reborn in a world of light and heroism after getting hit by truck cunt. Eumiella thinks about how people discriminate against her because of her black hair, which is seen as a bad omen. Even though she defeated the Demon King and the Saint, she becomes the hidden leader, a symbol of oppression. Eumiella thinks about her existence and how people treat her because of her black hair. She wants to reach level 70 and defeat the hidden leader. But in the end, after her defeat, she questions why she even exists. Eumiella has special powers, like using dark magic, which is usually reserved for bad characters. This makes her a strong opponent. At the end, she wonders if her existence has any meaning in the story of Light and Hero. She's not interested in the romantic parts of the game, and she doesn't feel a strong connection to the three characters you can romance. Instead of following the story of Light and Hero, she decides to hide and have a quiet school life. She won't interact with Alicia or the main characters to avoid becoming the hidden leader. She plans to let Alicia and the boys defeat the resurrected Demon King in her third year of high school, so they can all live in peace. But she knows she needs to get stronger just in case. She wants to be strong enough to defeat the Demon King on her own if it comes to that. In one scene, we see a young Eumiella encountering a slime monster. She uses her magic to kill it, and it turns into a magic stone, which is a common thing when you defeat monsters. Eumiella decides to train and test her physical ability, believing she's faster now. She sneaks out every day to train and make money by collecting magic stones from monsters. With the money she earns, she buys different tools, starting with the growth necklace, an amulet that quickly boosts her level. She thinks she can handle the dungeon on her own and confidently says she can fix her magic arm when needed. She encounters monsters in the dungeon and defeats them all, collecting magic stones from them. After a while, she gets the Summoner's Flute, a device to summon monsters. She keeps fighting monsters every day and keeps leveling up. She faces the same demis many times from start to finish, hoping to continue leveling up once she starts school. She arrives at the school in a carriage and is amazed that it looks just like in the game. She reads a message from her father, who urges her to attend the Royal Academy. He wants her to mingle with noble children and find a husband among them to secure her inheritance. Eumiella overhears a schoolboy announcing that the main gate closes at 6 p.m. as per the rule. She mentions that everything is happening just like in the game of Light and the Hero. Alicia appears and talks to a boy, telling her to avoid getting involved with 4 specific individuals if she wants a peaceful life. The boy says the entrance ceremony is about to start. In a different scene, Alicia touches a magic sphere, and the teacher tells her she's at level 1 and needs to work hard. William checks his level and is evaluated as level 10. Eumiella hopes she's at level 5, but she realizes that if she were, she wouldn't have been able to defeat the dungeon boss. Then it's Eumiella's turn, and the director reassures her not to worry since everyone starts at level 1. She places her hand on the sphere, and is actually level 99. Everyone is astonished, and Eumiella says goodbye to her peaceful life. This is unbelievable because the highest known level in the kingdom is only 60. Everyone around is stunned and starts to suspect Eumiella might be cheating, as she herself is surprised to learn she has reached level 99. The headmaster thinks there's an error and asks for another magic crystal. Yet again, it shows level 99, leaving everyone in disbelief. Sunaid, one of the teachers, asks Eumiella if she knew about her level being 99, and Eumiella knows she's in deep trouble. She decides it's time to reveal her true power. Then, the sword teacher questions if the crystal is malfunctioning or if Eumiella cheated to manipulate her level. Eumiella firmly states she didn't cheat and her level is genuinely 99. The sword teacher becomes furious, questioning how Eumiella could reach level 99, as it implies she must have been killing monsters since she was a child. Eumiella, who has indeed been fighting monsters from a young age, now faces rumors about how she could have done such a thing at her age, with more whispers about possible cheating. To ease the rising tension, the headmaster claps and asks everyone to calm down. He suggests they will find out the truth in the actual classes. He gives Eumiella a skeptical look before asking her to introduce herself. As Eumiella introduces herself, she can't help but think that even the headmaster doubts her. Eumiella starts to consider fleeing to another country to escape the situation and lead an ordinary life. The level measuring continues, and Eumiella feels sorry for overshadowing Alicia, a commoner who was supposed to be the center of attention in the original story. When the freshman party starts, Eumiella, who is not used to social gatherings due to her introverted nature, finds it overwhelming and decides to head to her room. However, as she is leaving, William confronts her angrily, demanding to know how she cheated and manipulated her level. Eumiella faces William, who she sees as a frustrating and stubborn guy. William confronts her about cheating, questioning how she, as a noble, could stoop so low. Just then, Edwin, a prince, arrives with an annoyed look, telling William that this isn't the right place to cause a scene. Eumiella respectfully bows and greets Edwin since he's a prince. However, Edwin, looking at her with disdain, calls her a central wannabe, which surprises Eumiella. He goes on to say that William has worked harder than anyone since childhood to reach level 10. He accuses Eumiella of cheating and invalidating William's hard work. Confused by everyone's accusation of cheating, Eumiella insists she's truly level 99 and that everyone will see whether she's lying when classes start. Then Oswald, another character, accuses her of continuing her lie. Eumiella, now just annoyed, explains her perspective on the three of them. She describes Edwin as the main protagonist and a good friend, William as a justice-driven, hot-tempered musclehead, and Oswald as a magic prodigy. Eumiella expresses her desire to avoid the main characters and live a normal life. She says that no matter what she says, they won't believe her. Oswald sarcastically comments that she should have claimed a more believable level like 10 or 15, but claiming 99 is absurd. Edwin, in a bullying tone, challenges Eumiella to show her level 99 power. Knowing that demonstrating her power would only cause more chaos, Eumiella quickly changes the subject by pointing out that Alicia, a commoner girl, seems lost at the party and needs help. While they are distracted, Eumiella takes the chance to escape. Once at home, Eumiella is worn out from all the drama. Her maid, Rita, asks why she left the party early. Eumiella replies that there was no one of interest to her at the event. Rita, who was sent by Eumiella's father to ensure she gets engaged to a noble, informs her that the second prince is in her class. Rita warns Eumiella that she won't find a suitable partner if she continues to keep to herself and act like a recluse. Eumiella feels irritated and decides to switch the topic by asking what central wannabe means. Rita, her maid, is a bit surprised by the question and tells her it's not something to worry about. Eumiella hints that the term might be specific to her and her family, which prompts Rita to explain. Eumiella then concludes that her family is essentially a group of nobles who don't do much. They've handed over their territory's management to local authorities and just spend their time partying and engaging in various indulgences. Eumiella finds her own family pretty disappointing, and Rita doesn't have much to say in response. The next day at school, Eumiella finds herself sitting alone. Her classmates start gossiping about her, calling her hair black and cursed, and accusing her of cheating to reach level 99. But Eumiella, with her heightened senses, hears everything and doesn't care about their opinions. She observes something unusual. The boys, including Alicia, enter the class together, which is different from the original story where they didn't get along at first. Eumiella wonders if her presence is causing changes in the story. Then, Alicia suddenly glares at her with hostility, making Eumiella decide to avoid the main characters as much as possible to have a normal life. In the afternoon swordsmanship class, Eumiella is excited to hold a real wooden sword, something she always wanted to do, just like in the games she played. The sword teacher then announces that there will be a mock battle involving the students who are supposedly level 99, and he asks who wants to spar. Eumiella finds herself the target of everyone's attention again, and William, the musclehead, confidently steps up to be her sparring partner in swordsmanship class. The crowd cheers for William, while Eumiella worries about how to control her strength so she doesn't hurt him. Eumiella, more experienced in using magic for fighting monsters, remembers how she once accidentally crushed a monster with her physical strength. As she's thinking, William taunts her, calling her a pretender and a fraud. Eumiella gets more irritated, realizing how much William's safety depends on her controlling her power. As the sparring match starts, everyone laughs at Eumiella's awkward battle stance, as it's her first time holding a sword. William, thinking she's mocking him, charges at her. But for Eumiella, his movements are too slow. She easily dodges, causing William to fall flat on his face. Eumiella feels a bit sorry for him, not expecting such a dramatic fall. She asks if she needs to hit him to win, and the teacher, surprised, declares her the winner. William, frustrated, accuses Eumiella of pretending to be inexperienced to catch him off guard. He attacks her again, but Eumiella lightly flicks his sword, sending him flying back an unbelievable distance, leaving everyone in shock. Eumiella rushes to check on him, worried she might have accidentally killed him. Thankfully, he's still alive. She picks him up by his collar, wondering if she should carry him to the nurse's office. The teacher quickly intervenes, taking William himself, and instructs the class not to spar with Eumiella anymore. Instead, she is told to practice sword swinging. Now, everyone is scared of her, so she decides to practice on her own. When Eumiella does a normal swing, it creates a huge gust of wind that knocks everyone back. The next class is magic practice. The teacher Tsunade greets the class with a smile and explains they need to hit a magic-enhanced dummy. The students take turns trying out the exercise. Eumiella explains that there are 4 main elemental types of magic in their world: fire, water, wind, and earth. There are also rare elements like light, which Alicia uses, and dark elements. When Alicia uses her light magic, everyone is surprised because it's an ultra-rare element. Next, it's Oswald's turn, who impressively uses all 4 main elements. Lady Tsunade, the teacher, praises him, saying she expected no less from someone as talented as Oswald. She's impressed by his mastery of all elements. Then she turns to Eumiella, suggesting it's her turn to show her level 99 power. Eumiella thinks to herself that Oswald wasn't in the previous class, so he doesn't know about her defeating William. When she steps up to the target, Eumiella admits she can't use the 4 main elements well, but she's a powerful dark mage who has maxed out all her stats. Eumiella then asks Tsunade if it's okay if she destroys the target. Oswald, overconfident, mocks her, saying the target is strong enough to withstand a palace mage's attack and won't be damaged by someone he considers a fraud. Tsunade, trying to defuse the situation, assures them nothing bad will happen. Eumiella then uses a dark flame spell, producing a small flame. Oswald laughs at the seemingly weak magic, but Tsunade is shocked. As soon as the small flame touches the target, it begins to melt like acid, stunning everyone. Eumiella explains that while it might look like fire, it's actually a cold flame that dissolves things. She likens it to a combination of 2 acids, sulfuric and nitrohydraulic. The students are terrified to see her use dark flame. Eumiella says she can only use dark magic, trying to calm everyone down. Tsunade steps in and explains that being a dark mage isn't evil. Even in the king's palace, there are dark mages. She clarifies it's just a type of element like light. Oswald, whose pride is hurt because he thought he was the top magic prodigy, can't accept that someone is more powerful than him. He runs off crying, which surprises Tsunade and everyone else. Just then Edwin arrives with the principal, carrying expulsion papers for Eumiella. Eumiella realizes that Edwin was missing earlier because he was busy preparing these papers. The principal coldly states that anyone who lies about their level doesn't belong at their academy. Hearing this, Eumiella casually remarks that it might be better for her, as she can now go to another country and attend a different academy. However, Tsunade urgently pleads with the principal to reconsider, highlighting that Eumiella is a rare dark mage. Tsunade points out that Eumiella managed to destroy a target that even palace mages struggle, suggesting that she might indeed be a level 99. This, according to Tsunade, makes Eumiella's potential expulsion a significant loss for the kingdom. The principal, however, is not convinced, insisting that breaking something doesn't prove she is a level 99. He demands that Eumiella demonstrate that she truly possesses level 99 power. Seeing Tsunade so worried and pleading, Eumiella finds it hard to refuse. She decides to give them a real demonstration of her power. She asks Edwin if it's okay to cast her spell into the sky and tells him he'll need to take responsibility if anything goes wrong. Edwin, somewhat irritated, agrees to take full responsibility. Eumiella then prepares to use an incredibly powerful spell, one typically associated with a demon lord, but decides to only use 1% of her power. As she raises her hand, a black hole forms in the sky. Gradually, the hole expands, growing large enough to cover the entire capital city. The expanding black hole begins to suck in everything around it, causing chaos throughout the capital. Eumiella explains that this spell absorbs everything in its vicinity and could make the sky above the academy disappear in an instant. Before it can cause any more destruction, Eumiella deactivates the spell. Everyone is left in a state of shock and bewilderment. Eumiella approaches Edwin with a menacing smile, asking if her spell was impressive enough to prove she is a level 99. Edwin is too stunned to respond, visibly terrified and shaking from the ordeal. This brings an end to episode 2. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss on next episode.